Hello, this is Palmer, the coach, and welcome to the Coaching Minutes. As we did in the last episode, we are studying this book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. And today we move into chapter 2, which is called The Richest Man in Babylon. In the last episode, we went through chapter 1, which was the man who desired gold. And we were introduced to Bansir, the chariot maker, and his friend Kobe, the musician. And they are discontent about their state, where they seem to be working very hard, but all they do is live from hand to mouth. And they were intrigued whether they could learn the ways of the wealthy, so that they can also build wealth and be able to enjoy more in life than just a bare existence. And so they decided to go and visit one of their friends whom they were sure had learned the ways, because he was wealthy. And this man was called Akkad. And they said, we are not going to go alone. Let us pull all our friends who seem to be struggling like we are, and let's go and learn. And so in this chapter, the richest man in Babylon, of course, was Akkad. So they went to pay him a visit, and they had a conversation. They went and told him, hey, bro, we went to the same schools with you. You were not a better student than we were. We played the same sports. You did not distinguish yourself as any different from the rest of us. But hey, fickle fate, sheer good luck seems to have brought you to the ways of wealth, and the rest of us are not doing that well. What would you say to that? And Akkad looked at them and told them, fickle fate or sheer luck is a haughty goddess that does not smile on anyone out there, or else we would all be the same. And he took time to tell them that he reached a point where he observed the world and knew that there were people who seemed to be wealthy, to be enjoying good things. And he therefore also had a desire. And I just want to read you a portion from the chapter where he says, in my youth, I looked about me and saw all the good things there were to bring happiness and contentment. And I realized that wealth increased the potency of all this. Wealth is a power. With wealth, many things are possible. And when I realized all this, I decided to myself that I would claim my share of the good things of life. I would not be one of those who stand afar off, enviously watching others enjoy. I would not be content to clothe myself in the cheapest raiment that looked respectable. I would not be satisfied with the lot of a poor man. On the contrary, I would make myself a guest at this banquet of good things. And I think that's a potent lesson that we shouldn't miss, that clearly life has good things to offer. And it is up to us to make a decision that we want to learn, so that we can take the steps that move us towards attaining them. So after all this discussion, then Akkad decided to tell them their story, that once he felt he was discontented, he knew then he had to work his way, he had to go and earn an income. And he got himself a job at the law office. Then they used to just write laws on tablets. And one day, a gentleman called Agamish came by and said he wanted a copy of the 9th law. And it fell on Akkad to write the tablet for him. And he was told, hey, you will do it in 2 days, and I will come back for the tablet. And Akkad worked the hardest he could, but in 2 days, the tablet was not ready. So when Agamish came, he was very cross. He was very annoyed that he had not met his part of the bargain. And Akkad just told him, I worked very hard. I didn't make it. But listen, we can strike a deal. We know you're a rich man. You are a money lender in this time. And you must know how people make wealth. So let's make a deal. I am going to work the whole night to make sure that I complete this tablet, so that tomorrow when you come, you can go with it, on condition that you will teach me how to make money and be wealthy. And Agamish looked at him and told him, it's not very many people who ask for that, so it's a deal. You go on and work. And this man lit a lamp and he worked the whole night. His eyes were teary and he did work hard. So that when Algamish came the following day, the law was ready. And he gave it to him and told him, hey, that's my part of the bargain is in, do yours. And Algamish fixed his eyes on him and he said these words, mark you well my words, for if you do not, you will fail to grasp the truth that I will tell you, and you will think that your night's work has been in vain. Then he looked at me shrewdly from under his shaggy brows, and he said in a low, forceful tone, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. Then he continued to look at me with a glance that I could feel pierce me, but said no more. Is that all? I asked. That was sufficient to change the heart of a sheep herder into the heart of a money lender, he replied. And he took off and went. But before he went, they had a discussion further. And he told him that what he needed to do so as to start on this journey of making wealth, that lesson of a part of what you earn is yours to keep, was from that day on, he needed to decide that whenever he was paid for his work in that office, he set apart a portion, at least 1/10 of all his earnings, so that that was kept aside, and to make sure that the rest, the 90% that was left, was enough for his expenditure for his full time until the next earning. And he told him that, and he left. So Arkad decided that he was going to follow the advice. So from that time on, every time he got his paycheck, he put aside 1/10 of what he earned, and he went to spend the rest on his needs for the house, for the clothes, for the food, and everything else. And what he says is that, funnily enough, he realized that he was actually not struggling. Even after setting apart the 1/10, his month was getting by. And he continued. And he says a year later, Agamish checked in again, and he came and told him, hey, young man, have you kept the advice that I gave you? And he told him, yes, and I feel very nice. After 12 months, I have a whole full month equivalent saved. And Agamish asked him, and what have you done with the money? Oh man, I am a bit bright. I have a friend of mine called Asmur, who is a brick maker, and he's making a journey to the land of the Phoenicians. And he told me that he can actually go and buy some precious stones, which we can come and sell and make a fortune. And Akkad looked at him and told him, poor fellow, just know that you have lost all your savings. How can you trust a brick maker with the decisions of picking precious stones? He told him, anyway, you have a chance. Just make sure that you don't give up the habit of saving. But this time, you better look after your savings. And sure enough, when Asmu came, he had been sold fake precious stones, which were worthless. And Akkad had lost a whole year's worth of savings. But he continued with the savings, and by the next year, again, Algamish came and checked in and told him, hey, how is it going? Have you still kept the habit of putting aside at least 1/10 of what you earn for yourself? And he said, yes, I have been. And are you still trusting brick makers to give you advice about how to make money? He said, about brick making, they give good advice, but money, they don't. So he asked him, so what have you done with the money? He said, this time, I have sought the advice of a shield maker who has a workshop, and we are in partnership. So I give him money to buy his metal, and every 4 months, he pays me a rental on my money. And my money is safe and giving me children. Then Agamish asked him, and what are you doing with the money that he gives you? He says, man, you should come and see. Every 4 months, I have a party in my house. I buy good clothes. clothes and good wine and food, and we celebrate because my money is finally giving me a return. And Agamish told him, you fool. If you eat the children from your money, you will never have a stream of gold that you can call your own. You should be able to put that money back, and even the children, that the children's bear should go back, and let all this be an army that works for you. And finally, you will be a man of means. And having said that, Agamish left, and Akkad continued with the habits that he had been taught. He kept to the advice that he had received. And 2 years later, Agamish finally returned and confirmed that he had actually now learned how to both save, to make his savings earn, and to make the earnings of the savings keep on earning. And at that time, he was growing a bit of an old man, and he told him, I am an old man. I have a lot of estates all around. My sons, unfortunately, don't seem to be as good students as you are in learning about how to create wealth and make some for themselves and look after what I have even bit. And therefore, what I'm going to do, I'd like us to do a deal. I would like you to come and work for me. I'll send you to some of my biggest estates, and we are going to be sharing the returns from that estate from your work. And that's how, out of his having learned how to make wealth, Akkad got a better job, and out he went and worked very hard in the fields and estates of Agamish. And Agamish was an honorable man. Of all the wealth that they made, he paid Akkad his due. And finally, when he rested and died, Akkad was actually entitled to part of his estate. And that is how Akkad, out of learning the laws that govern the building of wealth, made himself a good estate, learned how to keep on investing continuously, and was not even able to exhaust the income that was coming from his investments currently. And that's the advice that he gave his friends, that what I was taught when I was no different from you, earning an income from my labor as you all do, if you go and learn that and practice it, you will surely also make it and build a good estate for yourselves and have enough income for all the things that you do desire. And that is how he ended the lesson. So I want to read a bit of a long paragraph of what became of those that group of men that Akkad spoke to that time. So his friends thanked him and went away. Some were silent because they had no imagination and could not understand. Some were sarcastic because they thought that one so rich should divide with old friends, not so fortunate. But some had in their eyes a new light. They realized that Agamish had come back each time to the room of the scribes because he was watching a man work his way out of darkness into light. When that man had found the light, a place awaited him. No one could fill that place until he had for himself worked out his own understanding, until he was ready for the opportunity. These latter were the ones who, in the following years, frequently revisited Akkad, who received them gladly. He counseled with them and gave them freely of his wisdom, as men of broad experience are always glad to do. And he assisted them in so investing their savings that it would bring in a good interest with safety and would neither be lost nor entangled in investments that paid no dividends. And that is where we end our coaching minutes with these lessons. First of all, just know there is a banquet of good things, and it is only you who can make that decision to make yourself a guest at that table. Secondly, you must go out and earn. It doesn't matter how tough the times are, you will not be able to start the road of building wealth if your hands or your mind doesn't work for you so that you have an income. Next, you must study the laws that govern the accumulation or the making or the building of wealth. Then once you've learned, you must practice what you learn. You must learn to put aside not less than 1/10 of everything that you earn to help you in the journey to wealth. You must also trust time. It took 4 years for Akkad under the tutorship of Algamish to actually learn the ropes for him to be trusted for more. One of the miracles of this world is called the miracle of compound interest. And what time does when you earn and you put back your earnings is the compounding effect of that is amazing. At some point, I will be sharing something that shows exactly how compounding works. Next, use a coach. You will realize that Algamish kept on going back to the law office, not because he needed more tablets or more laws, but because he was a responsible man who wanted to make sure that his students succeeded. That's what a coach does. A coach does the check-in that helps you confirm that you're on the road that you desired, that helps by holding your hand so that if you need help, his experience can help you. And that is what Akkad did. Algamish did not only for Akkad, but also Akkad continued to do for his friends, as we've read in that final paragraph. Therefore, I just want to urge you to begin on the journey. If you have an income, begin setting apart at least 1/10 of it, so that then you can learn how to invest it and finally build your own wealth. So that's it for now. That's the coaching minute. And as always, reach out for a helping hand. And if you can, hold someone else's too. Thank you.